Hello and welcome to Everywoman. I'm Shuli Ghosh. On the show this week, we're marking International Women's Day. In Morocco, new laws and new rights for women. But are things really changing for the better? Women in the media. You might see their faces and hear their voices, but behind the scenes, it's still a boys' club. And struggling to escape poverty in China. One woman's desperate journey for a better life. This week we start with Morocco, a country considered to be one of the most progressive in the Arab world for women's rights. Morocco's king, Mohammed VI, introduced sweeping reforms across the country in 2004, which were designed to eradicate discrimination. He ushered in new laws on equality, divorce rights and on polygamy. But have things really changed for women? And if so, in what way? Well, to discuss this, I'm joined by Fatima Siddiqui, Professor of Linguistics and Gender Studies at the University of Fez. Fatima, thank you very much indeed for joining us. So the family code in Morocco, or the Mudwana as it's called, has been reformed. What has that actually meant for women?
Some revolutionary changes happened. For example, the fact that a divorced woman can keep her children even if she remarries. The other fact that children, if their father is known, can be legitimate, can be legally accepted as legitimate children. I think that this law is also important substantially in the sense that it has become actually one of the icons of the new Morocco, because it's linked to other laws, to other human rights laws. It's, for example, linked to citizenship and has resulted in a change in the nationality law. So the family law is no longer a woman's thing, but it's a social, it's a project, a society project.
Fatima, are these laws actually being implemented by the courts? Are they being interpreted correctly by judges?
Well, as you know, reforms on the paper do not mean much if they are not appropriated by the society in which they are promulgated. Of course, there's still a lot of resistance, but on the other hand, there's progress. So there's resistance because the judges themselves, they are the ones who are responsible for implementing the laws. They also need to understand things. So we need to pay attention to them. They are products of this society also with their mentalities, etc. But there are a lot of endeavors, attempts to try and understand on the part of judges.
OK, well, let's have a little closer look at this issue. Despite the newly granted rights in Morocco, some issues haven't changed. For instance, many single mothers are viewed as prostitutes, rejected by their families and shunned by society. Now, organisations to help them are few and far between. Everywoman went to Casablanca to meet some of these abandoned women and their babies.
Même si la loi a mis certaines choses en place, la société ne suit pas. Parce que là, il est question de mentalité, il est question de tradition, il est question de religion. Le sujet, bien qu'on en parle maintenant, reste quand même tabou. La mère célibataire est socialement exclue, marginalisée. Au Maroc, une femme avec un enfant hors mariage est rejetée par la famille. Elle est rejetée par l'employeur, elle est rejetée par l'entourage, elle se retrouve toute seule.
Feminine Solidarity is a refuge in Casablanca for single mothers. It provides support with childcare, training and work experience. Nadia, a single mother of one, came to this center 2 years ago.
أول ما عرفت راسي حاملة مشيت قلت لأمي ما تقبلاتش، قلت لخواتاتي تا ما تقبلوش. ولكن في الفترة فاش وقع لي المشكل وقلت لها ما تقبلاتش، قالت لي غتخرجي من الدار، الأخوات الكبار غيوليو قاتلين لك ونضحي ما توليش يعني نضحي غير بنت وحدة، أنا اللي نضحي بكم كاملين نضيع فيكم.
Like Nadia, most of the women who come to the center are former housemaids. Many have been raped or deceived with promises of marriage.
مشيت نخدم عند دكتور في الصالين. قال لي ما تقولي حتى شي واحد انا زعما من بعد غناخذك. وانا ما نكذبش عليك درت نيتي وبقيت كنمشي معاه. الا قال لي ماشي غير جي وتزوج خاصني نعرفك وتعرفيني يعني تبقى بيناتنا علاقه. مرتو مشيت للطبيب لقيت راسي حامل ومشيت عنده قلتها ليه وما تقبل. قال لي ما عمرني الكلمه اللي كيقولها هي اللي كيقولها ديما ولحد الان كيقولها. كيقول لي ما عمرني عرفتك ما عمرني شفتك. واخا مشيت ودعيت وتوجهت بدعوه للمحكمه وداك الشيء خدا البراءه ديالو. الكارني قال لي مو قالوا لي ما عندكش الشغل.
La société marocaine, comme la société arabo-musulmane en général, est une société qui est très dure envers la femme, même si elle est victime, notamment victime d'un viol ou d'un inceste.
Aisha left a rural village to come to Casablanca to look for work. Once in Casablanca, Aisha began a relationship she believed was sincere.
شنو رد الفعل ديالو؟ اول مره كنبغي يحيدو ليا فاش بقى كبر وداكشي ما بقاش غيحيد تعطيه لشي حد من العائله ديالهم. هما اختو غتشد تاخذو غتعطيه لشي حد اللي غادي يربيه.
Cette femme, quel choix elle a quand elle ne peut pas avorter? L'avortement n'est pas légal au Maroc. Que peut-elle faire? Plusieurs options se présentent, elles sont terribles, plus terribles les unes que les autres. Elle peut soit le donner en adoption, et une adoption sauvage, Dieu sait à quoi elle va aboutir. Nous avons souvent peur de tout ce qui est réseau de pédophilie, réseau de vente d'enfants, vente d'organes, l'utilisation des enfants pour la mendicité. Tout ça peut exister.
The Pt1 law has attempted to give more rights to the children of single mothers, but the reality in the streets of Casablanca is one of complete social rejection for the mothers.
D'accord?
To bring an end to child abandonment, feminine solidarity helps the women identify the fathers and get them to face their legal obligations.
ما بغاش يتزوج بيهم او مؤخرا فجأة تيشوف انا ما بغيت لا جواج لا حتى حاجه يتعترف غير بالولد صايب ليه وراقيه وانا مسؤوله عليه.
Morocco is the first country in the Arab Muslim world that dares to impose DNA test to identify a father. At the same time, a DNA test is a costly procedure that must be paid by the women.
طلبت حالي حيت هو جدارمي وقال لي وقف معاه وانا ما دار محامي وعنده الناس اللي يوقفوا معاه. انا ما عنديش ما لقيت باش ندير محامي ولا حتى شي حاجه.
Nadia and Aisha are rare voices among thousands of women who are too afraid to speak up in a society that they feel has stigmatized and abandoned them.
Au final, c'est la société qui met un cachet. Cet enfant est né, il n'y avait pas un papier d'écrit. Et là, limite, on peut se poser des questions. Quelles sont les valeurs réelles dans nos sociétés ou pour nous? Est-ce que c'est un enfant et une maman qui essayent de mener une vie et de construire un projet de vie, ou est-ce que c'est un papier?
Fatima, Moroccan society seems to judge these women extremely harshly. Are things changing in those respects?
A lot of people have mentioned taking the issue to the parliament, but on the other hand, it's still a taboo. I think that it will take some time for Moroccans and Arab Muslim societies to understand the fact. And I have a lot of hope in dealing with this issue through the window of children, because people really understand when it is children that we put forward.
You mentioned taking the issue to Parliament there. Are women politically active in Morocco? What about their representation in politics?
Thanks to the quota system, there are around 35 women in the parliament. But these women also, they need to face a hierarchy inside the parliament. I can understand that, because the mentality of the parliament is also the mentality of society. They have achieved a lot up to now. For example, the nationality law.
What about in other areas? For example, women's health and women's education. How are women faring in Morocco?
If you look at the history of family planning, health, etc., there has been a lot of progress in the last decades. But when at the same time you reflect on women as a whole, then you realize that these things do not affect women in the same way. Moroccan women do not constitute a homogeneous group. They are divided by class, by rural or urban origin, by the family status, are they married or not, by the educational level, etc. So the text does not apply to them in the same way.
It'll be interesting to follow the changes in Morocco, and it's been a real pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, coming up, the growing number of migrants in China. Many are moving from their rural homes to the big cities in search of better jobs and better wages. We follow one woman's journey after the break.